What up? It's your boy, the Incredible Man. Yes, I am back at it again, and this is Fire Force Season 2, Episode 7. Hell yeah! Woo! Yeah! Let's get it, man.
I don't think I do it good, no, I think I do it great. They would do it if they could, they can't do it, so they hate. Everybody wanna look, but nobody wanna play. Stealing eyes.
Man, oh man, this episode was actually really fun. And then it shifted straight from fun to informative because everything that we discovered this episode is stuff we didn't know. This is what we needed. This is the knowledge and information that we needed to have because we didn't know anything. We knew what was on the surface. This is like going deeper and deeper in the tunnel or the well or anything you can think of that's like deep, like that cave or whatever. This is going deeper into that because the entire time we didn't know enough. Manga readers probably did, but us anime only watchers, we didn't know enough. And this episode is giving us more into the realm in the world of Fire Force because now we see that we've reached the Chinese Peninsula and we end up seeing Juggernaut's parents and him just having a field day with his mom. What you're doing. So it was fun to see that as well, with the fun aspect. And we see that they, our little troop has to go to the outskirts of the actual part of the Chinese Peninsula where it's connected to the civilization part. They got to go to the outskirts part where there's nothing out there, where there's supposed to be nothing out there. So they end up taking their journey, and on the way, we come in contact with someone screaming and yelling, needing help. We never really see who they are. We can tell that there's something, but we never see them. And then all of a sudden, boom, bam, we see this huge giant worm chasing everyone. And next thing you know, we see a mole pop up and jump on the back of the truck. But where the fun part comes in, because their whole trip traveling across this barren land, we see that there's gases and they were exposed to it. Everybody except Victor. Victor had common sense to put on a mask. So everybody else got exposed, and we see everybody else getting a little woozy and a little high a little bit, and they're so delirious. They're using their powers. They're blowing up rocks, and they're hello, mama. So it was fun to see all of that. Right when we came in contact with the mole, we started getting a little information about this part of the Chinese Peninsula. We learned that that territory is the worm's territory. We learned that he's the one that was stealing the potatoes from Juggernaut's parents. And we learned that animals can talk in Fire Force as well. Did not see that coming at all. I did not expect to see animals talking. So we get there and we're out on this barren land and we see the mole is traveling with our little renegade group. Well, not renegade, but our little troop. And he's giving them the directions to where they need to go. And he ends up telling them about this oasis place that he originates from with his friends. And pretty much all of the people there could talk, I'm assuming. Well, all of the animals that were there could talk. So that's what our episode was, us journeying to the oasis to find out more information with this mole. Then we come in contact with a crow as we rest and take a break and everything. But I also like that we got to see Ogun's powers this episode. We got hints of it in a couple previous episodes, but like we got to see him fully activate it and use it this time. And the way he controls the fire, he can like interject some of his pyrokinesis inside of like a skateboard. Well, it doesn't have wheels, but like a hoverboard or whatever, and he can fly and surf through the sky. That was nice. That was kind of cool. And I gotta be real, I'm really loving Ogun, and I'm hoping we get to see more of him this season. I know we are, like, as they deal with the whole barren land part of the season, but like once we get back to Tokyo, I hope we can actually see him more. So when they get there, they find out that the oasis, or we're on our way to the oasis, and then we come across once they're camping for the night, while they're trying to get more information out of the crow and the mole, Shinra and Ogun comes in contact to see all these little bitty red flames just sitting down here in the dark. And you couldn't see it in the daylight, but because it's night, you can see it. And it's thousands upon thousands of infernals. And Shinra wanted to put them to rest, but Ogun and the crow made a very valid statement. Dude, there's way too many of them. There's no way we could put all of these to rest without causing a bigger problem or getting killed. And then the crow mentions that the ground is so unstable that you guys would probably be engulfed by lava by the time you took down a couple. So they just couldn't. And Ogun was like, mentioned that maybe we can get Tamaki to say a blessing for them. But dude, that is crazy that this land has been untouched, and we know that the great cataclysm of 250 years ago left all of these infernals there, man. So this gotta, oh my gosh, this barren land is the Chinese peninsula. So that means that all of those infernals are inhabitants of that land. Because once we see in this episode where we're making our way to the oasis, we get to the oasis, and Shinra and the crow have to go check it out because they're the only ones that can really get there fast enough. They check it out, and there's a the tabernacle, aka the Amaratsu or whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing as the thing in Tokyo. Now, what they discovered in this, what they figured in this episode, or guessed that, is that maybe, because we know for a fact that Vulcan's ancestor helped create the one that's in Tokyo. So, possibly this one that we see here in the middle of the Chinese peninsula in the oasis, probably along with some others scattered across the world, are the original ones, and they were there prior, and Vulcan's ancestor in the Holy Soul that created the one that's in Tokyo stole the designs and then patented it off as their own, or they could have created it there and tested it. So there's an endless possibility, but it opens up the world to so much more now. And Shinra had a valid point where they were looking at it and he was so surprised. If trees and everything is growing around the one that's here now, why can't we just create a whole bunch more and create more trees and lavish lands and everything? But then the lieutenant comes up with a very plausible reason as well. Who's to say that the world didn't end like this is because of these Amaratsu things? So let's just leave these alone right now until we have more information, because that's what we're on. We're on a fact-finding mission to get more information. So along while they're trying to get more information, they come across these hellhounds, and and Shinra and Ogun, they ran and jumped up a tree, but Tamaki's saying her blessing, and Arthur puts them to rest. And Tamaki made a very wonderful statement. Even if they are hellhounds, they still need to be put to rest. This is our job. So then we see Shinra kind of flipping out a little bit in the latter half of this episode, because he wants to just go ahead and bum rush whoever is taking control over the oasis and get whatever they need to do, make them stop or whatever. And the lieutenant was very adamant, like, well, we can't do that because we're not soldiers. We're fire force. We're the fire force company, so we can't do that. Our mission is to get information. So we have to get information, and if we can talk to them reasonably, let's try that first, and then if that doesn't work, then we'll fight them. You never just go in guns blazing and head first like that. And that's pretty much the whole episode. But what I'm saying is now we're into a realm where we got a lot more information to handle, except, I don't know, because this is new. This is all new. I'm so excited because now the possibilities are endless. And I want to know if this was here first and Vulcan's ancestor and the Holy Soul stole the idea and the designs, or is this the reason why the world turned out the way that it did? And on their way to find more information, we see street lights and cars and stuff that they've never really, but stuff that they've never really seen before. This is stuff like from 250 years ago. So dude, I'm super intrigued and I'm super interested in how they're going. I gotta end the video, man. This is your boy Nick Incredible. Don't forget to smash the like button till you can't smash it anymore. Comment down below and I'll be sure to respond to each and every one of them, and subscribe, but only if you really want to, man. And remember that anime matters, anime is greatest, and anime is...
I cannot complain.